Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bear's Den. David here, hopefully you're doing well, hopefully you're having a great week so far. And today I wanted to talk to you about two fragrances that I have here in front of me, which is YSL Elixir and Paco Rabanne, or like they're calling them now, they're getting rid of the Paco and just calling it Rabanne, and this is Invictus Aqua 2024. So been giving these scents a few wears, trying them out, testing them. And I want to give you all a full review on these two and give you all my thoughts. I feel like it would have been appropriate time. As you can tell, we're outside. I'm enjoying these late summer days where I am at, and we're kind of transitioning in the fall, and that's how these two scents are. This is more of a trying to be a darker type of scent, deeper type of scent, more suited for the fall time, I would say, but it's a blue. You can wear it whenever you want. But then you got this freshie over here, which this is kind of summer, so good transition. We got the yin and yang, I guess you could say, over here. But if you enjoy fragrance content such as lists, challenges, reviews, make sure to check out the rest of my channel after you get done watching this video. Greatly appreciate any support towards the channel. Also too, I am putting questions up on the community tab for both my fitness and fragrance videos, so make sure you keep an eye out for that if you want to be included in a Q&A, which is going to go along with my series, The Flavor of the Month. I'm going to be putting those together, combining the two. Going to be asking you questions from time to time, so if you want to be included in a video, get your question answered or answer the question I have posted, make sure to check that out. I greatly appreciate you leaving your comment, and hearing back from the community is important for me. So with all that being said, let's hop into this double review over here with these two fragrances. Okay, so first one up we're gonna go with the YSL Elixir. Just gonna show you the box real quick. Kind of goes along with the rest of the line. You got the YSL up top, the Y sides nothing, bottom nothing. So going through that one there. And this fragrance here, going to give it a whiff from the atomizer. I do like the blue on here. It's very nice, very reminiscent of YSL Y Intense. Now there's a lot of controversy with this fragrance currently. If you have been paying attention to the fragrance community, this one's a 2 ounce bottle, charging around $200 retail for it. And a lot of people aren't feeling it's warranted for that price. And I totally get it. I get where they're coming from. And you know, a lot of the fragrances are going up in price. And it's kind of crazy to me how these designer scents are almost getting up to niche prices. That's mind-blowing. But you know, also too, the controversy is that this is an Elixir fragrance, and a lot of people don't feel like it's an Elixir fragrance. So totally understand where these people are coming from, but now I'm gonna give you all my thoughts on it. So this one's aromatic, fresh spice, got that lavender in there, got amber, herbal, and then it's supposed to have some oud, supposed to have some rose. I get a little bit of that oud, just a little sprinkle throughout the fragrance. And then warm spice to wrap it all up. And then we're gonna hop into the notes of this. So lavender in the top, geranium, and then frankincense and oud in that base. And I will say the lavender, geranium, it ties it back into the rest of the line. And I totally get where they're coming from. And you do get that lavender in that opening. It's very, very prominent. Overall, this is an aromatic, spicy, masculine scent. Great to the office, great in any scenario. I would say it's a blue fragrance, but my harp with this fragrance here is I just feel like Yves Saint Laurent couldn't make up their mind with it. So what I mean by that is this is a blue. It's versatile. You can wear it wherever. But I feel like they just combined all the fragrances currently you can buy from the line. Now I haven't smelled YSL Y Live. I want to get my hands on that one eventually. But YSL Y Eau Fraiche, I have smelled that one. This one doesn't really smell like that one at all. This one smells more in the vein of YSL EDP, YSL Le Parfum, and then the closest one, in my opinion, is YSL Y Intense. And to be honest with you, everybody, YSL Y Intense is one of my favorites in the line. You ask me in a different day, I could change my opinion and change what I think, but YSL Y Intense is Could be my first one, could be my third one. I really like the Le Parfum, I really like the EDP. Very hard for me to choose, but sometimes YSL Intense is my top fragrance in the line because I don't want that sweetness, you know, from the EDP. And the YSL Intense takes the DNA from the EDP and kind of takes away that sweetness and just gives you that DNA without the sweetness, which I enjoy. And then the Le Parfum, that's going to be more sophisticated, which you do get bits and pieces of that in this, and I really, really like that fragrance as well. And I feel like with the line, that one's been the pinnacle. This one's not so much. I feel like they did a lot of things with this fragrance that they just didn't know what they were trying to do. They're trying to make, it felt like they were trying to make it a deeper, darker fragrance, but you don't get any of that oud. A lot of that lavender up the front of the fragrance, so in the opening, and then you just get that frankincense as it dries down with a little sprinkle of oud. I don't get much of that oud at all, like I mentioned. Just a lot of frankincense. And you know, when you're thinking of elixirs, you're thinking of Dior Sauvage elixir, you're thinking of JPG Le Male elixir, you're thinking of Invictus Victory elixir, which that one's a great one as well in my opinion. And this one, it hits the mark short, I would say. It's not the best in the line. And you know, when you're thinking of elixirs, it should be the heavy hitter, it should be the deeper one, it should be a little darker, you know, like the JPG Le Male elixir, and then Dior Sauvage elixir, like that. It just pushes the envelope, even though it doesn't smell, you know, like the Elixir Sauvage elixir does not smell like the rest of the line, but it pushes the envelope. It gives you what, when I think of elixir, I think of something that's, which elixir is just a trigger word, just so you know. It's not a form, it's not a, like eau de parfum. It's not something like that. So it's not a concentration, it's just a trigger word. But when I think of elixir, I think of something alluring, I think of something deep, I think of something sexy. And when I get this that hits on all those, what I just said, but the rest of the line already does that. If I want something sexy, if I want something alluring, I'm gonna wear YSL EDP, or I'm gonna wear something, if I want something deep, darker of the DNA, I'm gonna wear Le Parfum. It's already been made, and this one doesn't deviate far from that. This one overall, aromatic, spicy, masculine type of scent, kind of what I mentioned. And you do get that soapy feel, the shower gel type of feel that this fragrance is known for, this line's known for. And I feel like they just took all the fragrances and put them into one, but the closest one to this, to my nose, is YSL Intense, okay? So I feel like if you haven't bought any fragrance, this one doesn't smell bad. I recommend you trying it. If you haven't tried any Y fragrance, you might enjoy it because the performance is good. Performance to get about 9 hours, which that's how it should be for an elixir fragrance in my opinion. But the projection, I would say, is kind of lacking in off my skin. I probably, after the first hour, gets about very close to my skin. It's not one I have to go very close in, but I just smell it and it's kind of faint, okay? And like I mentioned before, I kind of feel like they were trying to take the DNA into a new direction, but it just didn't work out well, and you just got a concoction of all the fragrances put into one, and it's like at one moment it's fresh, one moment it's like kind of shower jelly, and then the next moment it's trying to be dark and kind of frankincense, you know, that frankincense feel, which you get in that dry down, and it's just confusing. Like, you know, I kind of feel like overall it has a little sweetness, it's fresh, and then it's dark, it's all over the place. So in my opinion, I'm going to give YSL Elixir not my worst fragrance I've ever smelled, not the best fragrance I've ever smelled, so I'm going to give it about a 7.6 out of 10. That's what I'm going to give it, 7.6 out of 10. And I think if you do not have anything else in the line and you can get it at a good price around that low, I got around $100, you can get around that $100 range for a 2.0 ounce bottle here, then I think, and you sampled it, I think you should check this one out. I think it'd be a good starting point in the Y line. The only thing I would say, if you wanted to get more fragrances in the Y line, I would say get the EDP, because that has a lot of sweetness, and that's different enough to this that those two wouldn't be so much redundant, I would say. That one you do get similar smells, but that one's a lot more sweet. It's got a very pink apple off the top. And let me know, everybody, if you want to see a buying guide on the YSL line, YSL Y line. I have all the fragrances from that, and other than the discontinued ones, but I'll talk about the ones you can currently get in the US. So enough about that one, 7.6 out of 10. Now let's hop into the Paco Rabanne, excuse me, Invictus Aqua 2024. So this one here, it's got the R up top. This one, box here, travel exclusive. I got it before it hit the US market, so that's the presentation for you. Back white, kind of, you've seen the Parfum one from my previous video. So, but going into this one, we're going to talk about it. Sorry, sun in my eyes, everybody. Apologize. Marine, aromatic, citrus. This is salty as well. Look, I enjoy that salty feel to it, and aquatic, woody in that base for sure. And I haven't smelled the 2016 version, but I think there was a 2018 version. Now that one's discontinued. I do have that one in my collection. This is supposed to be more reminiscent to that 2016 version. So if you smelled that, then you might find similarities with this one. So I can't really compare and contrast those two. Sorry about that. But this one, to my taste, that opening, very, very appealing. I like that very salty, marine, citrus type of feel. And the original, I think, had yuzu in the opening. This one has grapefruit, and man, very, very good. Very, very good opening with this fragrance here. And then as it dries down, you get more of the C notes coming out, less of that grapefruit. And in the base, you got the amberwood. So free notes with this fragrance. And that opening, just very juicy, it's very aquatic as well, with the marine feel, but that citrus does pack that punch in that opening. And it's got a little sweetness to it too. Very, very, very good opening. And then as it simmers down a little bit, it kind of, you know, goes back in line with maybe the 2018 a little bit, but not much. Like I said, this one's more into that 2016, so the original fragrance here. That one's going to be more reminiscent to this, at least to some people. Like I said, I haven't put my nose to that, but as this dries down, it's got a little bit of that 2018 feel, in my opinion, just off the fragrance, okay? Just off my nose, I would say, but very, not really close at all, okay? Like I said, more closer to the 2016 version. And this one overall, it smells clean, somewhat, you know, it's powdery too as well. You're going to get some powder with this one. And I feel like if you haven't got the 2016 version, this is a great one to not have to deal with that, because that one costs an arm and a leg to get. But this one brings back that DNA of the 2016, and it gives it to you in a 2024 version with good performance. This one lasts about 7.5 hours, and in projection about 2 to 3 hours. About at the 3 to 4 hour mark, it starts getting closer, but about 2 to 3 feet, I would say, off my skin for that first 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But that opening is going to be the star of the show with this fragrance. I do like the mid, and I do like the dry down, but that opening really puts it apart from the rest of the line, in my opinion. And, you know, you're gonna get differences here. You're gonna get, you know, some people are say it's gonna last not very long. Some people it's gonna last very long. But this one off my skin did last about, like I mentioned, about 7 hours, I would say. In that projection, about 2 to 3 feet until that 3rd hour mark. So I was kind of surprised how well this did for a marine, salty citrus type of fragrance. But like I mentioned, I enjoy this. As it dries down, it gets more soapy, and it's very appealing. It's something that you can wear during the daytime, during the nighttime, in that summertime, in that springtime. And I will say I will be trying this out in the fall, see how it does in that kind of cooler weather. Overall, I got to give this one an 8.7 out of 10. Really enjoyed my wearings with Invictus Aqua 2024. Glad to have it in my collection. Definitely want to try it out in the colder months, because you never know, your fresh fragrances might do very well in those colder months. They give it a different smell. The notes hit the air different, so they might smell different to your nose or everybody else's nose. So try that out. But yeah, there's my review over these two fragrances here: YSL Elixir and Paco Rabanne Invictus Aqua 2024. Let me know in the comments before if you've tried any of these fragrances. I'll be very curious to hear your opinions on these two and see what you think about the new releases in 2024. Have a video coming out very soon of my rankings of 2024 fragrances so far, so be on the lookout for that. With all that out of the way, I'll see you all in the next video.